Oh, God. Oh, fucking Jesus. ASMR. Please hold whilst I chew the bean. I don't understand why I'm doing any of this. Oh. You are your own superpower. You're your own biggest weapon because there ain't going to be anyone like you.
Hi, can I order tea and 2 sugars, please?
Hello, guys, and welcome back to Tea and 2 Sugars. Welcome to a sleepover episode. Woo! I'm Tati, your host, who, if you are listening to the podcast today, I join you in my nice new jimmies. I've got my rollers in. I've got my teddy. I've bought him from home. I have 2 teddies. I have Podge, who has been a part of my life for nearly 10 years now. He was the first Christmas present Jordan bought me. This is my dinosaur. And I don't take Podge places because if anything happened to him, I fear I would be sad. So this is just Dinosaur. He's from Morrison's. Look how wiggly he is. I love him. He's like my spirit teddy. So this is the sleepover episode. I wanted to have just a real cute, cozy night in with you all. I thought we can get really settled. I bought so many snacks for us all today. The snacks are on the snack table here. We've got Maltesers, some gummy snakes, squashies, jelly beans, Magic Stars, Pepsi Max, what else? And cornflake clusters. So the snacks are all ready. You can take whatever you want, whenever you feel ready to. And the drink of choice today, of course, is the Pepsi Max. This is going to be a little bit different to the other episodes. I wanted to just have a big sis vibe, a little gossip with you all. I had really nice feedback on the episode where I just did a full one of my stories. So I've given you guys the opportunity to ask big sister gossip advice questions, and that is what we are going to do on the pod today. You know, I always tell you about my week. Let me do that for you. Well, actually, whilst I do that, I bought us all some eye masks. So we can do face masks together. Obviously, I didn't think a face mask would be very applicable to me because I fear it would just slide off the whole time. But if you, I know you're asking, my favourite ones are the Garnier ones. What are they called? Just the Garnier ones. I really like the aloe vera one and the vitamin C, but these are just cute little eye masks from Topicals. I've not put that on quite right. You have to be careful with these ones that you don't get them too close to your eye because these aren't like the other ones. These stick. They're so good. I wore these on a plane and Millie was like, when I took them off, she goes, oh my God, they're got rid of all the creases under your eyes. It's what I would describe as a little ironing board. They're sort of fabric on top and very, very sticky. I know some people put eye masks on the other way around, but this is how I like to do it in this formation. I know some people put it thin bit here, but that doesn't feel right to me. You know what? In life, you should always do things that feel right to you. Let me tell you about my week, best friends. So it's been quite chill, actually. Last week was my first week that I've had fully at home since the start of March, which was lovely. It was very ramsacked at the start of March. So it felt good to get back in my stride, back in the gym. Girls, boys, gays and theys. I went to the gym 5 times last week. Oh my goodness. Felt so good. Beso, here's the sitch. I'm habit stacking. So last week we were just going to get to the gym 5 times, which was very easy. I did Tuesday to Saturday, and I'm going to do the same again this week because then I have Sunday, Monday rest days, which is perfect because Monday is a busy day. It's the podcast day. And I didn't really give a shit about my diet last week. I just let myself do whatever I wanted, just lived life. This week we are getting the diet on track. I'm doing very good so far. It's been 5 hours since I woke up and we're doing good. I've been on a walk. And guys, so I recently moved to the town that I went to high school in. I didn't go to high school in the town that I lived. Good Lord, what a literal trip down memory lane. I used to go to the park in my town every Friday after school. I went to split schools, single gendered schools. So we'd meet the boys outside afterwards and they would finish at 3:15 3, or they'd finish at 3 and we'd finish at 3:15. And they'd always be texting us like, where are you girls? Like, hurry up, we've been waiting ages. And it's because we'd probably get to them at like 3:30 because we had to go to the year 9 toilets, like roll up our skirt, put a bit of mascara on, and then we'd walk into town. We'd go to this little old man's sweet shop and go into the park. I shit you not, I walked into this park. It was like a mural of my high school life in this park. It was insane. Where I broke up with my first boyfriend, where one of my friends broke their collarbone on his penny board, where I snapped the ligaments in my ankle for the first time. Just brilliant memories all round. It was so fun. Oh, honestly, if you haven't done that, I highly recommend. And then, guys, I've been reading again. Lock up your books because I'm out. I'm reading Fourth Wing. I'm halfway through. I started reading it on Saturday. Look at me, I'm a bookworm. I love it. I love an audiobook. So I'm a podcast girl. So having the audiobook version of the book on my Kindle, I just pop it on. And I actually don't want to see actual humans. I just want to read my book. Said to get rid of me, it's not good for my social life at all. I cannot wait to see where this book goes. And then obviously we've got whatever the next book's called. And then Onyx Storm, which was released in January. And then after that, I'm going to go on to read Throne of Glass. Because I did try reading that, like, not that long ago, but I never really got into it. So we're going to go back to that afterwards. So that's me. That's my life. That's what I've been up to. We're going to start the pod, obviously, with my 2 sugars and my boiling point. My first sugar is actually my jimmies, my PJs. You'll have to let me know what you all call your pajamas. I don't know why I started calling them jimmies. My personal favourite brand of pajamas all round is a brand called Chelsea Piers. They are of a higher price point, I shall add, or I shan't lie. But I 100% believe that these are such a nice investment into yourself and your sleep schedule and your sleep routine. Or Mother's Day, actually no, Mother's Day will have gone by now. But for presents, such a good present for people, getting them a nice set of pajamas. This one I'm wearing for our listeners is cream with black giraffes and then sort of like a salmony, dark salmon piping on it. They're so nice. They come in a range of different materials and sizes. I have another set which is like what's it called? I think it's called like balm wool, which is almost like linen-y. That's going to be so nice on holiday. I'm going to take them with me. And they're very size inclusive as well, which is obviously really, really important. I just love these. They were very kindly sent to me. This set was, and a couple of other sets, but I made all of my family wear Chelsea Piers pajamas on Christmas Day, including my boyfriend, my sister's boyfriend, my mum, my dad. We were all over that. And actually, I FaceTimed Elizabeth the other day, who is here making noise. Elizabeth. And I FaceTimed, and her boyfriend was wearing the pajamas yesterday. So they are Lizzie's boyfriend approved. And then, what is my other sugar? Probably my Kindle. I was on a book hangover after finishing ACOTAR. I rinsed ACOTAR, started reading it in maybe like late August. I'd finished all 6 books by October. I got through them like oxygen. So now I'm back onto that again. I just find that you've got to prioritise reading. It sounds so dumb, but you do have to prioritise the time to like sit. I'm really trying to not be on my phone as much, so that's been really, really nice to have that. And then my boiling point. Oh my God, my boiling point. My fucking boiling point. Let me tell you about this. So it was Sophia's birthday and we wanted to go to Bongo's Bingo. And that was fully booked. So we found another Bongo Bingo-esque situation. It's called Old School Bingo. Don't ever go to Old School Bingo. Okay? And I'm going to tell you for why. Now, before I say this, we have put in a complaint. I'm not just one of these people that is taking it to social media. So I'm not just one of these idiots that airs stuff out on social media. Basically, I go to events sober. I am sober, have been for nearly 4 years, which is insane. It's never an issue to me going to these events sober. It was a fucking issue for me this time, let me tell you that. It's the one event I've been to in a long, long, long time where I was like, I'm uncomfortable. I'm very uncomfortable right now. So to start off, I'm a punctual person. just know that if I'm any more than 3 minutes late, I am losing my mind. So we get there, and I'm going to just get my beverage ready whilst I tell this story. So strap in, everyone. We get there. Oh, yes. We get there, 6:10. Doors open at 6, first game of bingo, 6:30. Okay. I'm already thinking, that's fine, plenty of time, sit down, get a drink. No dramas. Can someone tell me why I'm still stood outside this venue at 7:20? No, 10 minutes past 7. There's rumours up and down the queue that the people running the bingo haven't turned up, that they've misprinted the venue. It's a shambles, kids, an absolute bloody shambles. So anyway, we get in there and it's just a free-for-all on the bingo cards. Like, people are grabbing multiple bingo cards, so they've got obviously more of a chance to win. This whole thing was £20, might I add. We start playing bingo. The guy, the host, if you will, it's called MJ. He seemed like a nice enough chap. Did he want to play fucking bingo? No. He wanted us to stand on those tables and party and drink and get really drunk, and that's fine. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to play bingo. Right, let's get one thing straight. And if you have been to Bongo's bingo, you'll know that the main point of being there is the bingo. Like, the partying is just sort of an additional thing. It's like an added bonus. They get the balance right. Shout out Bongo's bingo. If anyone's listening from that team, you guys are doing a great job. Okay. We get going on so we ate beforehand, and it did say delicious food. This is the worst bit. Delicious food will be available. Walker's salt and vinegar crisps and cheese and onion crisps. Delicious food. Oh, don't get me wrong, I do love a Walker's crisp, but you can't advertise food being available and it be a baked crisp. Okay. Anyway, so we're there. The event was running from 6 till 9. We still haven't finished the second. I think we started the second game of bingo at 20 to 9. So this is how much faffing had been going on. Anyway, it was just not good. And it was like old school R&B, which is fine. If you're going out sober, make sure you know the genre of music you're attending. But it was very niche. I didn't understand it a lot of the time. And I love dancing on a table. But I felt I was forcing myself to dance on a table. And that did not feel good. That did not feel good. And then the guy came over, and I was one number away from getting a line, which would win me the game. And I said, read the numbers, I've got one more left. He goes, someone's taking it too seriously. He's wearing green joggers and a top that says best job ever, whilst his friend is on stage. Guys, please imagine, grown man. He must have been like late 20s, early 30s. Full puffer jacket on inside, might I add. What's the song I can sing? You know that song? Can you pay my bill? He's like, can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bill? Can you pay? Film in the crowd. Put it down, sir. That's really embarrassing. Put it down. Stop. The whole thing was just so unprofessional. So that's my boiling point. Old school bingo. Sort it out. And this is a global brand. They do things in like Ibiza. I wonder if it's like maybe we just got a bad night. Yeah. So that's my boiling point this week. Anyway, we're going to get on to our questions. I put a question box on my Instagram story. You guys asked some absolute belters, and we're going to get into them today. Here we go. Oh, hang on. I know I've already had the sip, but second sip, best sip. We're going to start. What snack do I want? Maybe a little squishy squash. Listen to this ASMR. Yeah. My favourite snack on the table or in general? I've always loved jelly beans. Here's a really cute story for you all. Jordan and I did long distance. Please hold whilst I chew the bean. Jordan and I did long distance for well, all in all, like 2.5 years in 2 different stints. Joe's here, by the way. And he used to meet me at the train station. He went to uni in Guildford, and he'd meet me with a packet of jelly beans from Tesco, actually, funnily enough, which is where these are from, shout out, and the milk bottles. And every time I'd go see him, he'd meet me with them. And every Valentine's Day now, he still gets me milk bottles and jelly beans, which is really sweet. And that's why meaningful present, like that must cost him 89p, maybe a bit more than that, but it's just still so lovely. So that's why I love jelly bean. So I think actually I did have a question about long distance. Let me have a little see if I can find it. Here it is. Oh, okay. This lovely girl asks, how do I approach breaking up with my boyfriend of 5 years? He's moved away, we're doing long distance, and it's just not the same. Okay. Now, I firmly believe that everybody should do long distance at some point, however long that distance is. Jordan and I, it was 189 miles the first time. The second time, I fucked off to France. So I think doing long distance is always a really good challenge for a relationship for many reasons. It tests your trust, it tests your communication skills, it tests how much you actually want to put your effort into that relationship. You haven't gone into the reasons why you don't feel like it's working. Maybe it is just that lack of communication. So 4 years. Oh no, 5 years. How long have you been long distance for? That is my first question. If it's been a couple of weeks and this is the first time you've had doubts about your relationship, I would give it another month or so. Really allow things to settle down. When Jordan and I did long distance, we said, we'll FaceTime every night, we'll go see each other every 2 weeks. That's not realistic, unfortunately. When you're in the situation, you learn what is palpable for the both of you. So if it's only been a few weeks, just stick at it a little bit longer. Maybe voice your concerns to your partner, to your Steve, and just say, I'm really not doing well here. I'm feeling a little bit neglected, like you're not chatting to me as much. Really try and push for it to work. How do you have an end date to the long distance as well? That's also a really, really important thing when it comes to going long distance and in a relationship. You both need to know that by the time uni's finished or by the time the job contract is up in 3, 4, 5 months, whatever it is, you're going to be coming back to each other. It's a countdown. It's not ideal, but you have a deadline to work to and always have that next time. So before you leave him on the Sunday night, before you go back to work on the Monday, you know that in 6 weeks' time, you're going to see him again. You did say boyfriend, didn't you? I don't want to assume that it was your boyfriend, not your partner. Yeah, boyfriend. So, however, if it's been a year and you've just sort of decided that this really is not right for you, not a problem. I think you need to work out what isn't working, give him a chance to correct and fix that first. If that's not happening, it's tricky. Depending on how far apart you are, if you can see him in person, always give the respect to the other people, to the other person, and to yourself of doing it in person. Give them the chance to speak back to you and get their frustrations and their emotions out, as well as you getting yours out. I wonder what the reason is. I just say, like, listen, I need a partner that is going to be close to me 24/7. I need physical contact, and that's obviously not possible for us. I know that you've done the best, and I appreciate you trying so hard to make this work, and we both have put so much effort in. However, I don't feel like it's benefiting either of us. You're dealing with me being frustrated over time, which is going to put pressure on you, and I don't want that. You've just got to make sure that it is leaving both on good terms. I always say this, when you're having difficult conversations with your partner, with your friends, with your family, whoever, not everything has to be a big argument. Not everything has to be this massive blowout and passion and anger. And he might be feeling very similar. And, that would be an ideal situation. You both come to the conclusion together. You part ways. You maybe say, listen, this isn't working right now. Maybe we could revisit this, but it's both detrimental to everyone involved. That's how I'd approach it. If it isn't possible for you to see each other in person, it's got to be on FaceTime. You need to see each other's face. Don't ever break up with someone over text. That is fucking brutal. I think that just it's a cowardly move to break up with someone over text. You need to be able to look someone in the eye, I think. And also I feel like texting is really calculated. Like, you're not speaking from the heart. You're curating this breakup basically, instead of just saying what comes out. Long distance is really, really tough. It's really tough. But if you can get through it, like I said, if it is something that is quite a recent thing, push through it. It's so rewarding and you will come out way stronger. I knew people that said they'd been together for 5 years, the same amount of time you and your boyfriend have been. And they were like, nah, fuck that. I'd never do long distance. I'd just break up. I just find that bizarre. Like, you're with your partner out of convenience then, not out of wanting to build a life together no matter what. What about sickness and in health, in for rich, all of that jazz? You're just in a relationship with them because it's close to you. Very strange. I see, very strange. But long distance can be very rewarding. If you're out there in a long distance relationship, take on the tips that I've given you, because when I've given them to other people that have done it, they found them quite helpful. Jordan and I did it when I was 16 to 18. And then when I was 20 to 21, again, in Paris, which that is a whole different ballgame, because you've got a different country. You've got to add into different time zones. That obviously disrupts communication and how you're going to communicate with that person. Another little tip is, if you're finding that when you come to each other at the end of the day, you've got nothing to talk about, just don't talk in the day. Send a little morning babe message, hope you slept well. Don't talk for the rest of the day. And then you've got things to chat about at night. That's how a normal relationship functions. If he goes off to work, you're not calling, texting all throughout the day. If you are, great. But the majority of people, I don't feel like that is happening. You're just giving the odd update here and there. So I hope that goes all right for you and it's not too stressful. It's also going to be tough on you as well, post-breakup. So look after yourself. Make sure you've got good friends. Maybe let your friends know. Speak to your friends, see what they think. They know you and your partner better than I do. I'm just some lass on the internet with some eye patches on, some jelly beans. That would be my advice. If you were my partner, if you were my friend or my sister, that's what I'd tell you. All the best, babes. All right, next up we have, I want to reach out to my friend from high school. We haven't seen each other since we were 18. I'm now 25. How should I go about this? Oh, I love making new friends. Here's the thing. Making friends in your 20s is so hard. I'm not going to lie to you girls. I've just decided I'm going to be friends with people. I'm sure they won't mind me saying this. So my two friends, Keta and Grace, I have more friends than that, just saying, but these are the two specific examples. Mainly Keta. So I saw Keta when I was working at Beauty Bay as their socials assistant. She was like doing so well, she still is doing so well, but she was really blowing up on TikTok. And I just saw, I was like, she's so cool. Like, I want to be her friend. And then I met her at an ice clean event, and she was really anxious and really nervous, bless her, which is so far from who the Keta I know now is. And I don't know, I just watched her. I was like, I feel like we've got very similar vibes. She'd be on live singing all the time. I was like, I'm going to be friends with her. I just decided. I don't know if she had much choice in that decision. Maybe shall I FaceTime her? And let's FaceTime. And I just really made the effort to talk to her, message her. I don't actually know how it all came about. But hang on, I've gone on a real tangent. I'll see if she answers. Hello.
Did you just call me?
I'm filming the podcast.
Oh,
And
You just call me.
yeah, because I was talking about becoming friends with people in your 20s. And I said, well, I just decided to be friends with Keta.
You did.
And did you find that okay? How would you rate that experience?
11 out of 10.
Brilliant. Yay. Yeah.
Because I feel like back then I was not good at making friends, and you were like, I've decided that we're going to be friends now. And I was like, okay, this works for me. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Okay, Brill. Because I was like, well, to be honest, guys, like I just decided I was going to be friends with Keta. I don't know if she felt quite forced into this, but it's been a few years and we're still here, so.
We're still going strong.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to say hi to everyone?
Yeah, with me sling.
Yeah, with your sling. Say hi.
Ah!
All right. Well, thanks so much.
Okay.
See you later. Bye. And from there, we just blossomed into like good friends. I think we must have gone to an event at some point, and it was probably the Jordana Tisha event. We were probably chatting about going to that and what we were going to wear and things. And then with Grace, I did exactly the same. I met her at a beauty crop event. I sat next to her, and I just thought she was so cool. She was just like the coolest girl. She was like hilarious, so vibey. And then we were going to a Trigwell event in Cardiff, just her and I that I knew that were invited, and we're from not that far away from each other. And Cardiff's a nightmare to get to. I was like, well, I'm going to drive. Do you want me to drive you? Come and sit in the car with me for 2.5 hours. And we did, and we've been friends ever since. So force yourself on people. No, don't do that. It's obviously just small little bits of making effort and blossoming it from there. So you said I haven't seen us, or I haven't spoken to her since we were 18 and now I'm 25. How should I go about it? I'd start with a cheeky little follow on Instagram. I think that's always a good start. Because if they don't want to be your friend back, they're not going to accept that follow request, or they're not going to follow you back. Which, fine. People are allowed their boundaries. And then once maybe we can like a couple of stories. I imagine it's very similar to dating these days. Like a couple of stories, get like, oh, you look so good. I've had a couple of people message me. This girl I used to sit next to in maths, she was so cool. She was like one of the proper popular girls, and we sat next to each other in maths, and she was so nice. But she was in such an intimidating group of friends. She messaged me and was like, hey, I don't know if you'll remember me, but like I saw what you were up to, and I just wanted to let you know I think it's so cool what you're doing. Massive congratulations. That's always nice. Like, oh, congrats on a new job. If she's got a new job or if she's moved or had 25, yeah, so you're not going to be at uni. Maybe she's getting a master's. Maybe she's doing a PhD. I don't know how old you are when you do any of that academic stuff. Just comment on any of her bits, and then you could be like, just wanted to say you look like you're like doing so well. Congrats on the fucking baby or the engagement. I've recently moved back to the area or something like that, and I've left all my uni friends. I wondered if you wanted to grab a coffee sometime. I know we haven't spoken in a really long time, or we could go on a dog walk. Maybe give it like a little while before you get into that. Or always a fun one for me. So I had this friend in high school, and we sort of like fizzled out when I moved to college, but I could not remember the life of me the name of this one guy who had like done loads of different things. So I was like, hey babe, so sorry, hope you're doing really well. What the fuck was the name of that guy? And she's like, oh my God, hi, it was this, da da da. And she was like, he's actually just got married. And I was like, no way, that is so crazy. And she's like, yeah, do you know who else has got married? Da 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 da. And we just got talking from there. Like, I don't know if we're at the point where we'd meet up, but I think always reminiscing on the things that you already have in common, like your high school experience or your college experience, could always be good if you're on the same course. Just say like, oh, I know we're in that together. Did you get any like jobs in those fields? I'm looking for a job there. Just random things like that. But I think be chill with it. Be chill. Be so smooth. You're obviously wanting to rekindle the friendship, and you obviously know that you're going to get on. I don't feel like people can deteriorate and go that wrong in seven years. Like, you obviously think that you still have a vibe and that you've seen her out and about. That would be my plan here. Just like little nods on socials every now and again. If you go out and you see her, you can go up, be like, oh my God, hey Suze, hey Amy, how you doing? Just get chatting from there. Swap Instas. Make friends with her friends. You know, things like that. It's so hard in your 20s and everyone is always busy. That's the problem. You always have to set aside time with the friends that you already have and make time to see them. That's what I do. I hope that helps. Let me know if you become best friends and like maid of honours at each other's weddings. So I just left it open to you guys on what you wanted me to talk about. This one's really fun. I had an awful time with my ex. We are going to have been in the same room this summer for oh God, oh fucking Jesus. I have had an awful time with my ex. We are going to have to be in the same room this summer for a friend's engagement party. I refuse to miss it and I know he will refuse to miss it too. Any advice for how to get through the night? Yes. Party's on Saturday. Let's just say. Monday. Full body exfoliation. Tuesday. We're getting our nails done. Wednesday. Facial. Thursday. Tan. Friday. Fresh blow dry. Fresh toner. Fresh dye. Fresh hair. Saturday. Get up. Go to the gym. Get that headspace cleared. Drink a shit ton of water. Let's get our skin plump. Let's get our skin feeling good. You're going to roll up to that party feeling 10-10. No concerns about how you look. No concerns as, oh my God, is he going to think I'm attractive? We don't fucking care about that, hun. If you feel attractive, you feel your best, you're going to show up your best. Confident, badass vibes. He is no longer in your life. He no longer controls you and how you feel. You are in charge of how you feel. First and foremost. You're going to make sure you have people there that you know. Obviously, you've got your friend who is getting engaged, but she's going to be like flapping and fluttering around the room, which, fair. You stick with your friends, make them known of the situation, etc., etc. I personally would not talk to that man. Have you seen that thing of Kiki Palmer? She's like, I do not know that man. If he walked past me in the street, I would not know him. Sorry to that man. That is how you're going to react. We don't know him. We're not there. We're blanking him out. If you stood next to him at the bar, not a problem. He stood next to you. You're not stood next to him. You're in control. Received. If he does try and come up to you and talk to you, hi. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. No, how are you? We don't care about him. Yeah, oh, well, I'm actually just going to go speak to that really sexy 6'7" man in the corner over there. Bye. I don't care if there isn't one. Make it up. We can hire someone. Let's hire a man. Anyway, I wouldn't ask about him. We don't care about him. We're shutting down the conversation. There's no need to be rude. Hi. Yeah, I'm really good, thanks. Yeah, I've been really busy with work, actually. It's going quite well. Oh, you like my hair? Thanks. I like it too. You know? There is no need to entertain him. If he kicks off, it's not your fault because you have been polite. You have been stoic. If you really, really feel uncomfortable about it, I'd speak to your friend who's the bride-to-be, the proposee, you know, and just say, like, obviously Steve's going, you know, that there's a bit of history there. I'm not out here to ruin your night. Please know that, because she might be a little bit concerned about that as well if there's been like a big blow up in the past. Just letting you know that if I feel uncomfortable, I'm going to head off. I don't want to make you worry about me or anyone else. You are within your rights to leave any situation where you don't feel comfortable and safe, whether that's emotionally safe or physically safe. Okay? And if she's a real friend, she should accept that. You could speak to any men around that. I'm all for sticking up for yourself, but the real truth of it here is that if he's kicking off at you and some other lad comes over, he's probably not going to continue to kick off. Is there any of your lad mates that you can be like, listen, do you mind if I just stick with you that night? I really don't want Steve to come at me or anything like that. Use the resources you've got. That's one thing I would do. And the chances is nothing is going to happen. He's not going to do anything. He clearly must think a lot of this couple to not want to miss out on their engagement party. Like I said in the last dilemma, not everything has to be a big ruckus and a big blowout all the time. I just want you to know that you're walking into that room 100% confident, 100% sure of yourself. You are a badass woman. Act like one. Yeah? Act like a woman. Show strength, show confidence, show beauty in the way that you hold yourself. Shoulders back. I'm not nervous that you're here because I know for a fact you're not nervous that I'm here. Do not give that man the ego boost of you being worried about him. He's clearly vile if you've not had a best time with him already. He ruined your life for the amount of time he was in the relationship. Don't continue to let him do that moving forward. And also, you're going to have to see him at the wedding. So, here we go. I also wouldn't drink. If you do drink, I wouldn't. Because then you lose your inhibitions, you lose your stoicism. Probably not a great idea. And then if he gets absolutely fucking wankered and he's like going at you because he's trolleyed, that's so embarrassing. That is so embarrassing. I mean, whether you're sober or you're drunk, that shouting at a woman, ill, Joe, say it, ill. You know, that's what I do. I really wouldn't worry. You're gonna have such a great time with your girls. You're gonna go. You're gonna dance. He's just like a random little fly that's like buzzing around the room. You know. I hope it all goes well and that you have a nice time and that you look stunning and feel your best. Can I just say, guys, that Lizzie bought the snacks today and I'd like to go around and tell you the reasons why she bought the specific snacks she did. So for jelly beans, it's because I have a bean head. For the stars, because I am a star. Actually, no, I think she said because she's a star. A jelly snake because I can be a snake. What was the clusters for? I can't remember what the clusters were. And the squashies are because I am squashy. Oh, sorry, squishy. Which if that doesn't make me want to stop eating them, I don't know. Oh, and the Maltesers because she is obsessed with the Maltesers. Oh, because I'm a Malteser. All right. Next question. Hello. I am a man. I can tell that from your name and your profile picture. Thank you. This information is relevant. I have a colleague at work I have to work closely with for now and the future. She is often too friendly and intimate, which makes me feel uncomfortable as I have a partner. How do I talk to my colleague without making it awkward? And how do I tell my girlfriend without freaking her out and making her worry? I want to be honest with her. Hi, Steve. Hi. Steve, would you like a snack? I have plenty. Steve's make up 7% of my audience. So it's nice to know that the 7% is here. So, first of all, I need you to know, Steve, that this whole situation is completely wrong. No matter how you move forward with it, and no matter what anyone says to you, this should not be happening to you. Point blank period. Just not even in the workplace. Do you get what I'm trying to say there? So, here's what I'm going to need you to do. I don't think you need to address this conduct in the workplace with her. You need to, I wonder if there's places where there's cameras or if you have any evidence on your phone or anything that you can take to HR. You're going to trot your little self to HR with evidence. You're going to ask for a male representative to be in the room with you. If not, you're going to ask to make a claim of sexual harassment in the workplace. Present what you have and say, I don't feel safe working with her. This goes to anyone, by the way, men, women, whatever. You don't try and talk to the person about it. It shouldn't happen. You go straight to upper management and HR. They will handle it from there. If you have good enough evidence, I know you shouldn't need evidence, you should just trust it off the back. Is there anyone that can back you up? Have you got a colleague that's witnessed things or that has raised it with you? I really hate the idea of you going into work feeling conscious of what's happening. And I also think that this is 100% something you need to speak to your girlfriend about. If you go to her and say, hi, Amy, I really need to speak to you about something. It's really vulnerable and quite sensitive for me. It's been going on at work and I don't know how to approach it. I'd like some support from my girlfriend. So I need to tell you. I don't want to tell you because I don't want you to worry or question anything. But XYZ has been going on. If she is the woman I hope she is, she will support you through all of that. Can she go to HR meetings? Is that something she can do? She should be there to support you through. It's such a difficult one, and I don't feel like sexual assault and harassment against men is spoken about enough because it does still happen. Obviously, nowhere near as much as it is to women, and it's very rare that it's spoken about a woman doing it to a man. I think you've done so well in even just dropping it in my inbox. That's like a really strong step to ask for advice on what you should do. Speak to the blokes around you, speak to mates, see if they can offer any advice and support from a male's perspective. Because obviously, I'm never going to be able to come at it from a guy's point of view. But if you are my partner, I'd be stood right behind you, holding your hand, pushing you to get the result that you need. She shouldn't be in the workplace. I mean, she might be doing this to many people. If it was a woman in this situation, I know exactly how it will be dealt with. And I hope to God that it's dealt with the same seriousness and sensitivity. What else did you ask? It sounds as though when you say, how do I tell my girlfriend without her freaking out or making her worry? Maybe that's not, maybe I've just jumped to conclusions about her thinking, well, you've caused it, or which you haven't, by the way. Maybe it is just like, oh, she doesn't want you to be worried about going to work or worrying about you when you're at work and feeling uncomfortable and all of that jazz. But yeah, I don't initiate anything with this woman at work. You go straight to upper management and you tell them straight away what has been going on. You open a case, you open a complaint against her. Hopefully from there, she'll be suspended and there'll be an investigation that gets put into play. And that's when other people will be spoken to and any evidence you have can be pulled forwards. But really, really well done for messaging and opening up about that because it sounds like you haven't done it before. And taking the first step is always the hardest. So I'm really proud of you for that. I hope it goes okay. It'll be really tricky to open up to people that you don't really know, but hey, you've done it to me and that's a really positive point. You deserve to feel safe everywhere, especially in work. All right, this one it feels quite personal. Hi girl, I'm self-employed. Sometimes I find it difficult to find the motivation to find work for myself and challenge myself. So much of my work requires me to be creative and then push it out into the world, which can be exhausting when I face so much rejection from clients. I love what I do and I won't stop, but how do I stay motivated so I can reach my full potential? Being motivated in a creative industry is one of the hardest things. It is literally like a battery that you have to make sure that it is full. I struggle with this on the weekly. This is such a loaded thing for me. Actually, I have so many things to talk about. Right, so this is something I struggle with all the time, given that my job is fully creative and additionally taking on the podcast as an extra workload. So my biggest tip for this is getting yourself in some sort of routine, finding out what works best for you. I'm going to treat it like you're producing. Have you said what you need? You're self-employed, find work for myself. I'm going to treat it like you're influencing just so that I can relate to it. Get yourself in a routine of creating content. Work out what the process is. So for me, the process is reading through my inbox, deciding which one is going to work best, setting up, sitting down and filming it, editing it. 6 steps to create one video. I wrote a list of each one of those because the brain likes to feel like it's being fulfilled. So even me turning my light on and setting up my lights behind me, cross, done. I'm 3 steps in. I've not even started filming yet and I've already done 3 out of the 6 things. Or 4 out of the 6 things, you know? That's really great. And sometimes you don't want to do it, but I'm really sorry, but the be all and end all of it is if you don't do it, no one else is. That is the crux of being self-employed. It's beautiful in so many ways that I'm my own boss. I can choose what I want to do. I got up at 9:10 this morning, had a chocolate bagel, went for a flipping walk, came home, read a book. Now I only started work today at 12:30. And that's lovely. That's so nice. But I will still probably be working tonight at 10 p.m. That's just the life I chose. But it is all on me. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you start to take accountability for it, it almost becomes a bit more of a relief because you're not relying on anyone else to do that work for you. And I went through a really, really tough start of the year, had a lot going on. And to be completely transparent with you all, some really difficult, unexpected financial issues. And I never saw coming because they don't teach you how to be self-employed in school. We're just learning as we go along, especially for the girlies. Like, I feel like lads are a bit more business minded sometimes. I'm a lot more emotional, whereas Jordan is very strategic with it. Whereas I feel like everything is a personal attack, which it isn't. And you get used to that over time. And I remember being like, I've let myself down. Like, how did I not know this was going to happen? And he was like, how did you expect to know it? You never knew. No one's ever told you. It's all a learning curve. And you can pass this information on to people who are going to be in your situation 2 years down the line or whatever it will be. I said, I can't do it, John. I can't face this. I can't do it. And he turned to me and said, and it's annoying because he used my own line on me, which I'm so good at giving the one-liners. I really hate it when people turn it back around on me. He said, nobody is going to come and save you. No one's going to come and pick you up and take you out of a situation. You're the only one that can do that right now. This is the bit, he goes, and do you know why no one's going to come and save you? Because you've got to do it yourself, because you need to know how good it's going to feel knowing that you pulled yourself out of that. You're going to look back on this situation and think, I did that. No one did that for me. I'm strong. I'm bold. I can stick up for myself. I can do what is right for my business. And as soon as you get that in your brain, you almost have to just be like, right, here we fucking go. Let's shut off the side of me that is doubting myself or doesn't think I'm worthy of things and just get on with it. You know, there's so many people that just roll over, let the world happen to them. They hold the handrail the whole time through life. Nothing ever expands for them. They're not going to go anywhere because they aren't out of their comfort zone. You have to push yourself through your comfort zone. Sometimes that's going to land you in hell. But do you know what the thing about getting in hell is? You have to keep going through it or you'll just stay in hell. You have to keep moving. That goes for mental health, physical health, anything. You just have to get on with it, unfortunately. And I can give you tips. So getting on with it can looking like filming one video for the day. Fine, that's today sorted. We'll worry about tomorrow. Baby steps, little things like that. I found for me that batch filming is really beneficial to me, which means that I film 9 videos in one stint, which some people are like, the fuck? But that just works so well for me because then for the rest of the week, I can do podcast stuff. I can do my own thing. I can go shopping. I can go travel. I can socialize with my friends because being self-employed is very, very lonely. I don't speak to anyone. If I didn't come to do the podcast today, I wouldn't speak to anyone until 7 o'clock at night when Jordan gets home. That's just how it is. And with the creativity side, these are the things that you have to be careful of because if you let your battery drain, I don't like burnout because I've experienced burnout and I think the term gets thrown around way too easily. Like going to one, I mean, everyone has a different level. Going to one social event and filming a video for the day isn't, if you're fully functioning, that isn't going to burn you out. The other side of things is, have you ever been in one of those situations where you're only charged to 20%? You just can't, I'm not going to get emotional. No matter what you do, your body cannot get past that 20% battery. But in that day, if you only give 20%, brilliant. You've given everything you had to give that day. So whether you're, for example, on Thursday, awful period pain. I've never experienced anything like that at all. I genuinely thought there was something seriously wrong with me. I lay on the sofa all day, which if you know me, that is not a thing I do. I've slept for the most of the day. I felt really bad about myself that I'd let myself do that. That's not what I've been brought up to do. I felt like I had just rolled over and, like I said, was letting the world happen to me. But I went to a gym that evening because I know that going to the gym can help period pains. Now, I've come to the conclusion that the only reason they tell you it helps with period pains is because it takes the pain from just one place on your body and makes the whole of your body hurt. But for the rest of the hours after that, I didn't have any period pains. I only had 20% to give, and I gave it at the gym. I did one thing that day. I've really forgotten where I'm going with this, but I have been, trust me when I say I wish I could tell you some of the situations I've got myself in. No one was ever going to get me out of that but me. And to know what it feels like to be at rock bottom makes you realise that you will never let yourself get there ever again. And rock bottom looks very, very different for so many different people. To be transparent, when was this? 2021? Maybe 2022? I think it was 2021. I have never, ever wanted to die. I've never wanted to not be alive. But I didn't care if I lived at all. I didn't care what I did. I didn't feel like any of it had value, which I was doing I never did anything. Like, I never did drugs. I never did anything like that. But I was being destructive because I didn't care. It felt like no one else cared about what I did. And it felt like I shouldn't care. I'd been doing like awful, awful bad habits for months and no one cared. So why would I care about myself? And it took one pretty serious event to happen to realise that the people that I was hoping was going to come and pick me up and carry me out of that, they weren't coming. Lizzie says the cavalry aren't coming. You are the cavalry. You've got to buck up and go. And that, I imagine that will resonate with a lot of people, especially people in their early 20s, because you're just sort of catapulted into life and be like, oh, be free. You don't really know what we're supposed to be doing. I'd lost all my jobs, which is something that I'd always put my mind on, my self-worth on. And sitting in therapy, telling bless Karen, double R Karen, she's a great therapist, telling her that I don't see why I should be doing I don't get it. I don't understand why I'm doing any of this. Oh. To 3 years. No, it wasn't even 3 years later. 2 years later, to have the growth that I did, because I turned up every day and I filmed every day with no reward for a year. And that's what it is. It's just the incremental small changes to better yourself. This is really not relevant to the question anymore, but you hold the power to everything. I did a talk at a college. I spoke about the event plus your response equals the outcome. The only thing you can control in that situation is your response. Get on with it. However that looks to you. Stop relying on other people to fix your financial issues, to fix your creativity, to motivate you. The motivation comes from yourself. And as soon as you become intrinsic in that, no one can take that away from you because no one else is in control. It is you. You are your own superpower. You're your own biggest weapon, because there ain't going to be anyone like you. No one's going to do it like you. They can try and copy, but you're always going to be one step ahead. And that is the strength in the whole situation. I think that's probably a pretty good space to finish this episode. Thanks for coming to my sleepover, guys. I'm going to go watch a film now. Probably going to go put on like Mean Girls or something. I hope you've enjoyed. I will see you next week. I won't be in my jimmies next week, guys. I'm so sorry. Make sure to send in your stories. Let's get back to some absolute feral filth next week. You can send in a story via the link in the description or head to our socials. We have fun over there, guys. It's Tea and Two Sugars Podcast on Instagram and Tea and Two Sugars Pod on TikTok. Follow us, give us a like, give us a cheeky little comment. And if you're listening on Spotify, you know there's a little 5-star review waiting for you. That'll give you a big forehead kiss. I'm going to go finish the rest of this food now. And have an incredible week. Oh, delicious food. This, old school bingo, this is delicious food. Okay? Anyway, have the best day, guys. Keep shining. You're your own biggest superpower and your own strength. I love you very much. Don't ever forget how valued you are, how beautiful you are. Oh, I put something on my story the other day. Let's close the episode here. I have had so many messages from the response from the thing that I put on my story, and I'd just like to read it to you all today as our closing message. In case you're struggling, or you just needed to be reminded. In case no one's told you lately, you're doing so well despite what you're going through. The strength in turning up, even though you're struggling, is incredible, and I couldn't be prouder of you. You deserve to take up space. And you do. Take up all the space. Take it up with confidence, and know that it's deserved. Anyway, love you so much, guys. Goodbye from me and Joe.
Please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup. Find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Oh, 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 oh. And I'm singing like, whoa.